Hey, what's up everyone? Brad Chmielewski here with episode 196 of Shatter The Vain. I really hope you enjoyed episode 195 with Jeff from Halcyon Masters. It was a little bit of a different format, beers and Vainglory, just chit-chatting all about that, learning more about the lore, just talking about our projects and kind of different stuff we worked on. It was, I think, nice to get away from just the news and the constant announcements and announcements about announcements and everything that happens in the Vainglory community. Need to do more episodes like that, more interviews like you saw with the T-Tigers little mini-sode. Hopefully have some other ones like that coming out. Working on maybe try to chat with Vain Shame about working in the design world, in esports and that kind of side. So we'll see. Always new stuff coming, new things I'm working on, trying to give you more content, more interesting content for you to listen to. And this week I have two guests joining me. SuNzNick, who's been on a few times of Team OutFox, and then his social media coordinator, community manager, Kelsey. Definitely great to talk with them and learn more about their guild and what's happening as far as them on the competitive side and the casual side. So many new organizations and teams just popping up in the Vainglory community because of that 5v5. It's going to take more players. More people are going to kind of show up and kind of show what they have to offer for these different teams. It's an exciting time for the Vainglory esports. I know Time for Rolling podcast guys or Time for Rolling esports, they have plenty to talk about here once VPL announcements all happen and we get into that preseason. Really neat time. It's kind of like the building of Vainglory up again. Like it all, maybe it all fell apart there towards the end of 2.0 and people like just leaving the scene, getting bored. And now that 5v5 is here with 3.0 and 3.1, it's just super exciting. And it's kind of like a new phase. It's a new game. We basically started over. And as I get close to episode 200 here, it's going to be a nice milestone and a good way to like push the podcast forward into like a new era of content, I guess. But it'll be the same stuff you love every week. But yeah, SuNzNick and Kelsey, really great to chat with them on this episode. We talk about the tribe announcement and how much money they have to be spending for that team. It's gotta be nuts. How can I get a piece of that action? That's what I want to know. And we talk about maybe some of the heroes that we'd like to see skins for, some of the ones that are lacking. Maybe one of them will be your favorite hero. We should just place bets on who's going to get a skin first. That would be a fun little challenge or video to put out there. Some sort of contest maybe. Think about that. But hopefully you've been enjoying all the videos on the YouTube channel. There's lots of gameplay videos. I've been doing those 1-minute vlogs. So if you're just a listener to the podcast, be sure to check out the YouTube channel. The 1-minute vlogs talking about my setup here, my cats, the devices I use, just different events that are happening. So be sure to give that a listen and watch. And let me know if there's any guests, any content, anything you want me to talk about. I love hearing that. You can always message me on Twitter. It's at Shatter The Vain, or email shatterthevain@gmail.com. Always happy to get that. Always happy to get comments and questions. I know a couple people have sent me videos to post or include. I'm trying to figure out what maybe we want to do with that. Not sure. But there's also the Patreon channel if you want to support the show in any way. That's over at patreon.com/shatterthevain. Thank you, everyone that's backing the podcast there. And if you're not doing it, well, I appreciate you for listening or watching, however you consume this content. It really means a lot to me after getting close to 200 episodes here and still going and still passionate and talking about Vainglory. All right, let's get into this episode 196.
Shatter the Vain.
This is the 196th episode of Shatter the Vain. My name is Brad Chmielewski, and this is a podcast all about Vainglory. Every week, I try to break down the news, gameplay, game tips, and hopefully we can all become better players together. And this week, I'm joined by SuNzNick and Kelsey. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you.
Suns, it's great to have you back here. You've been on a few times now.
The third time?
Yeah. Kelsey, thanks for joining, this being your first time. This is great. I guess, do you guys want to introduce yourself? If people haven't seen these other episodes with Suns, they may have not heard this, but they should be familiar at this point. But I'll let you still introduce yourself. Let everyone know what you do.
Yeah, I'm the boring guy. That's the one guy, or the people in the comments say that's boring. So that's me. No, I'm SuNzNick, Nick, whatever you prefer to call me. I'm owner, founder, head of esports for Team OutFox, which is a multi-platform esport community that I've made myself.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's pretty much it.
And then Kelsey, what's your role in Team OutFox, and kind of in Vainglory as well?
So I'm Kelsey, otherwise known as Kel, or Kel Swan is my in-game name.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an owner of Team OutFox, as well as a co-founder, head of social media. So I focus mainly on our official Twitter and Instagram accounts.
Nice. Were you doing social media stuff outside of Vainglory before you got involved with Team OutFox?
Yes. So in my, I guess, professional life,
mm-hmm.
a lot of stuff associated with social media. So for different accounts, and my younger sister wants to be, a social media star. So I've gotten to know different algorithms and different things that work, and I've been trying them out for Team OutFox to get more likes and follows and people involved in our community.
That's awesome. Nice. So how'd you get into Vainglory then? We've heard from Suns here before on how he got started, and
honestly, Suns got me into it.
Okay.
Talking about this MOBA called Vainglory, and the community that he was in, and the org he was part of, and the fact that there was this thing called Worlds coming up.
Mm-hmm.
Knew like so little about esports or competitions, so I was like, yeah, that sounds cool. Yeah, sounds okay. A week before Worlds, I had his voice like in the back of my head, just egging me on, saying download it.
Yeah,
did, and I fell in love with it. So now it's cool because I helped found this awesome community. I get to talk with my team members and guild members about like different things that I should try, different builds I should try, and play with them. And then I also got involved with Girls in Glory.
Right. Were you playing any other MOBAs beforehand, or was this kind of the first one?
Actually, when I was a kid, I was told that I would never be a gamer. So I was only allowed to do things that were associated with like doing math games or doing like different like dancing games, things like that. Pretty much all I did were like strategy games, things that you could play online. I never really got into MOBAs until Vainglory.
Okay. So you were told, or you told yourself that you could never be a gamer?
My parents told me that I could never be a gamer just because I'm so bad. Like if you hand me a PlayStation remote, I will have no idea what to do. It's kind of sad to watch. Kind of funny. But yeah, I was told I'd never be a gamer. So this is really fun to get to kind of dive into, get to know the game with my community, get to work with different people who are super involved in it,
mm-hmm.
and in other games too.
Yeah, I'm pretty bad at other games, but somehow I'm decent at Vainglory. So I
mean, you're better than me. I'm tier 4 still.
Okay. Well, we're all tier nothing at this point, right? So we're 5v5.
Rank 5v5. Let's go.
It's all equal.
I can't wait.
Well, that's awesome. Like I've only talked to, I think, one other person, a friend of mine, into playing Vainglory. So I need to step up my game and start getting other
I've
people
talked
to play.
multiple people into playing Vainglory. So I think I've made a big impact on the amount of people that's been in this community.
That's awesome. So then what's been happening with Team OutFox lately? How's the year been going? It seems like seeing lots of
So
stuff on social media.
this is definitely the year of the. I wish it was the year of the fox. It'd be so perfect. Um, Chinese New Year's reference to those who don't know. Um, it's been going well. Definitely been going a step forward. Had a couple of mishaps, couple, just typical community stuff that really happens when someone's trying to start things. We have a couple teams, one in Rocket League and one in Vainglory. So we are definitely expanding a lot into games other than VG
Mhm.
to become and established as not only like a Vainglory based org in the future, but into our actual, what our bio says, a multi-platform
Yeah.
community.
Are you do you have sponsorships helping, like, I guess, pay those players, or are they kind of just doing it for the to be
At
with
the
the team
moment,
at the...
we have people, gladly to have people who are willing to play and help us build and get to a point.
Sure.
So it's really hard to find people who are willing to just do it just to play, play and gain the experience. And I have found those people in both Fiji and RL.
Mm-hmm.
So it's great to have.
Yeah, some people
those-
just need they just want a team, right? There's a lot of people who don't know how to, I guess, meet players or play with other people at like a high skill level, so they just kind of need a team, and doing it under organization, if you're getting paid or not, it really just helps push people a little more.
Yeah, it does. And as I said, I'm glad to have like those type of people to be able to do that. When it comes to sponsorships, I guess I can kind of make this a little bit official. It hasn't really been posted on our Twitter, but it's all right because we're gonna end up posting it anyway. We are affiliated with Custom Esports. I just said Custom Esports Gear.
Okay.
They are an apparel brand that is fairly new, but really has some really good affordable gear.
Mm-hmm.
Team OutFox is soon to have a store within that site, so keep a lookout for our apparel.
Nice.
So
That's awesome. Congrats to that. That'll be fun.
mm-hmm.
Always fun to support your own shirts and gear as well for yourself.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I can't wait. We are in the talks of possibly possible fun things for future stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
definitely keep an eye out for sure.
Nice. And so you're still building out this 5v5 team for Vainglory, correct? Like, I saw a tweet that you're looking for players and seeing if anyone's looking for a competitive team.
We have our starting 5, which is Serbius, Aqua Slasher, Reborn Joe, 47, Stratosphere, and our new actual player Prime have just joined as our starting 5. We're currently looking for subs at the moment, so if anyone is looking for a team and is willing to be a sub, you can hit us up at Team OutFox GG. You can hit me up on Twitter and Instagram, SuNzNick. You can hit up Kel as well at her Twitter, which is Kel Swan. Multiple places you can just message whoever in the guild. Our manager, Stratosphere, you can find him. His Twitch handle is Stratosphere.
Mm-hmm.
It's spelled an odd way, but if you go through our followers, we don't follow many people. You can definitely find him.
Cool. Is it strange, I guess, building that team now with one, very little known about VPL, but also like nothing known about the Challenger series? Like, they're kind of you're building this team for the idea that Vainglory Esports is happening, right? On the assumption that it's still going to function and flow with the Challenger League into the VPL, all that good stuff.
I built this team to be able to compete at any level. So it's just once the information, everything for the Challenger League and the VPL have definitely come out, we're going to be on top of that. Right now, we're just working on learning the 5v5 map, just like any other professional team or any other VG team.
Right. Nice. So that's on the competitive side. I saw a tweet from Vic, he's been on the podcast here a few times. He tweeted out like, are there any, or basically, let me read this here. But he was talking about, he's looking for a casual guild. He's like, are there still any fun casual guilds in Vainglory? And so we just got done talking about the competitive side of Team OutFox here, but I saw you jump in here as well. I guess touting your casualness of your guild and the team and the organization.
Yeah, we have a casual guild within Team OutFox. We are recruiting. We normally recruit 14 days before the season ends, so 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to be any skill level. You can legit like pick up the game like first tier and just like, oh, I want to join a guild. You can legit be level 1, just made your account, barely even knowing how to play, and you can join Team OutFox. That's how open we are of building the Vainglory community up to what it should be.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, that's what I feel other whether you're a grind guild, a casual guild, a competitive guild, it's what you should be doing. Like the casual side, not to bash on League, but it's slowly starting to get just like League, and we don't as a community shouldn't really have it like that. Our casual side should be more interactive with the community, because from there it'll make the esport better and go upon.
Because we do see them like the casual side it gets neglected sometimes, especially the guilds. I know plenty of people have had words on Twitter and at SCMC about that, and just like the payouts and the grinds aren't worth it. So it feels like this weird just afterthought that doesn't really matter at this point. And if you're in a guild or not, what are you getting out of it in the game? Hopefully you're getting something out of it. Like outside of that, it's just fun people to play with.
Yeah, guilds are all about definitely building connections, building friendships, having people like a family, or being able to just interact with people in the community, and that's what it's slowly starting to fall off. That's what I feel.
Mm-hmm.
Well, most people might argue with it, but that's what I feel. It's starting to fall off.
Yeah,
that's why people like Team OutFox, Gangstars is definitely trying to build the casual side up.
I saw like Shanae, she jumped in on this tweet here. She's part of the Renegade Wolves, and their guild is really just all casual. They may have a group of players that are competitive, but they're not trying to build a competitive team or be a competitive organization. They just have a guild that's basically just people enjoying the game. So their, I guess, case is maybe a little more what Vic was looking for, because I would think as running any sort of guild or organization, you focus on one thing. Sometimes it just happens.
Well, within and I've learned this from Gangsters, because they actually do it a really swell way, and I'm gonna use them as an example because they have been the biggest, not I wouldn't say the biggest, but they one of the biggest impacts within the Vainglory community. Mm-hmm. And they solely have casual leaders who run their casual side for them. Yeah. And that's, I'm slowly starting to get into that and be able to have a casual side and everything, but it really, honestly, my viewpoint on it, you really shouldn't have to look for an actual casual guild. You just look for a guild that has a casual side that is still casual, even though part of the organization or part of the community of that guild is competitive. Some guilds, know how to separate that, and Team OutFox and Gangstars are a couple of those, even Renegade Wolves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, yeah. Hopefully, Vic finds what he's looking for. Or
I hope Vic finds. Yeah. Whatever guild that Vic be's part of is gonna go for it. Whether it's Renegade Wolves, if he decides to come to Team OutFox, if he goes and helps, some smaller guild that no offense is a no name, and then work its way up to become, a huge name in the Vainglory community, be great.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think a lot of people are just looking for people just to like goof around with, right? You said you like make those connections, but I believe that most of the Vainglory user base doesn't even know there is a community on Discord or that there are guilds. So just being able to find a few people to play with makes the game so much more fun.
Oh yeah, and that's what it is. Like, definitely, I think every guild should start. Every major guild should start tweeting out the Discord link to the Vainglory, the main Vainglory server, so we'd be able to just start building that. Because if that gets built, like there's the community right there.
Mm-hmm. And then I guess talking about a community that's been growing quite a bit is that Girls in Glory community, and Kelsey, you're part of that, and you're in there, and you've been, I guess, helping a little bit with things there. I don't know all the roles and things that happen in the Girls in Glory world, but I continue to talk about it because I find it very interesting.
I mean, it's an all-female guild.
Yeah.
Guys are not allowed in, so obviously we don't know that much about it.
Yeah, so I'm one of the gals in the server. Gals are just the general population that have been accepted in.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was so cool to have a community that focuses on promoting gamers who happen to be female, in this case, female Vainglory players.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's cool that they're like trying to eliminate the gap between genders. So all the girls in it are female. Amazing to be able to chat with other gals, get to know other players, and see a side of the Vainglory community as a whole that isn't super obvious when watching Worlds, for example.
Right. So you're just part of the Discord server. Were you helping with the tournament or any of the other projects that they have been working on?
I wish I could have helped with the tournament. I'm in college, so trying to figure that around my schedule got a little complicated. But I was really glad to see that it went very well. Mm-hmm. I thought it was cool because it was just one of those things where someone chimed in, we could organize a competition and like, this would be cool. And then the activities committee ran with it and it was a lot of fun.
Nice. Did you end up watching in the tournament or even Suns? Did you check any of that out?
Form it around my schedule?
Didn't. I was Team OutFox takes up most of my time.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, in the end, it's just cool because a lot of these girls, they play like a girl would say, yeah, if you practice more, you could too. And I find that really inspiring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hope to see, as we're getting some of these announcements coming out for the VPL and these orgs announcing their teams, I hope that some of them pick up some of these female players that were playing in the tournament that have showed that they can compete at this level and are good players. I think it would be great for the Vainglory community as a whole to see some professional female players in the main roster for teams.
Yeah, that would be amazing. I mean, there are a lot of pro girl players, like, across gaming generally. Mm-hmm. And while like gender shouldn't really be a factor when looking at skill, it's really cool that like girls are able to rise up to the skill. The fact that, there are some organizations or communities that don't really want a girl as their front. And that females are starting to rise in the community based on their skill, based on how much they practice, and not based on singularly their gender.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very cool. Awesome. Well, that kind of leads into a little bit of the news that's been happening.
Vainglory News.
The big topic was the Tribe Gaming roster that got announced here.
Sort of expected it.
Yeah, I guess everyone saw this coming, that they thought like maybe TSM was going to pick up some of these players. Maybe it was going to be someone else, but this is a heavy hitting team here.
Oh, this is definitely an all-star world champion team. Like I honestly see Tribe winning back-to-back worlds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the roster includes Gabe Vizzle, Old School. I should have put up the list here, but I didn't on here. But basically, ex-Cloud9 players, as well as the Tribe roster before, minus T-Tigers, who's now in a sub role.
That's a really shocking to me because I would honestly expect I Love Joseph's to be a sub. No offense to I Love Joseph, you're a amazing player, man. But I honestly like kind of seeing you as like a sub in my point, because of just the chemistry and the chemistry that Tribe have together. Just the 3 members of Tribe that they had, I was kind of expecting I Love Joseph to be the sub.
Right. I think
But
T. Titers tweeted out that he wants to focus on school and content creation for Vainglory. I recently did a little interview with him. He put up that great article talking about the meta in 5v5 and 3.0. So I think he just kind of wants to do that. And that probably adds some good value for Tribe, that he can add that and put out that content underneath the Tribe umbrella a little bit.
yeah, it gives Tribe a lot of promotion, and to have more than just I think it's Clash Royale that they're in, because I think that's what Chief, I want to say Pat, not Matt, Pat.
Yeah, Chief Pat.
Chief Pat, because there's a Chief Matt too in the Vainglory community. Chief Pat, with him being a Clash Royale gamer and player and streamer, content creator, to have a team in Vainglory and have Vainglory content creators would definitely, as I said, expand the community, would expand Tribes, everything. So
yeah,
you did Tribe.
But this has to be a crazy expensive team to pay every month. Like, we already, for the most part, we knew that picking up the Immortals squad was very expensive for Tribe, because they kind of bought their way into the Vainglory 8, and it paid off. They won Worlds. We don't know how much they paid for the Immortals team at that point, but now with 5 players, 2 subs, 2 analysts, and a coach, this is expensive. We were talking about players earlier, like you have players that are just willing to like be part of a team and be part of an organization. These players are not doing that. They are expensive.
They are really expensive, and the fact that C9 is a 3rd place world's team and winning back-to-back unified championships, that's I want to know who sponsors them. Hang out on that train,
right? Because we gotta figure it's got to be like what, $15,000 to $20,000 a month for this squad, like just out of the pocket. Like, that's without winning tournaments, without tournaments coming in. Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, GG to Tribe. If honestly, when it comes to an organization, if you can afford it, go for it.
So that's really cool to see. I know we're recording this probably a bit early, so we'll probably see some other big announcements coming through and things like that. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. I'm sure they'll be all over Twitter. Everyone is making big announcements, so or announcing big announcements.
Let's see, what teams am I? I'm waiting for TSM to announce the roster if they haven't yet. I'm waiting for a April Fool's trick from C9 saying that they have a new roster.
Yeah, who do you think may stick around? We could guess that they may stick to this 8 organization format. I don't think they will. It may drop down to 6.
I kind of want, no, I don't want them to drop. I want them to extend. I want them to extend it from 6 to
or 8.
Or 8 to like from 8 to 12 teams. So pretty much almost match the amount of teams that like League of Legends has, and they have like franchise spots that they give out to teams and everything for when it comes to League. And to have just 12 teams in there is more beneficial, because the more teams you have in it, the more opportunities that these smaller teams like Team OutFox, like these other ones like Celsior Esports, Vain, Team Ferox, ones like that, to be able to get into the VPL or into the Pro League. So
but that's more money for Vainglory to ship out.
That is
franchise spots.
That is more money for VG, and it's gonna take a lot of work to be able to do that.
But yeah, if they up this or continue it, it's gonna be interesting to see who sticks around. If Gangstar's still has a spot, if Hammers has a spot. I know. I think Nemesis was like coming back or trying to put together a squad. a little while ago?
I seen a tweet out about that because we were actually trying to set up a scrim with them, and it attempted to. They didn't get back with us, so I'm hoping they actually have a team together.
Yeah.
To be able to play and compete. Though I do want to see VG go towards not keeping the teams, from the Vainglory 8, but maybe have a qualifier a month before the VPL should start, to see who the top 8 or top 6 teams that will actually compete within the VPL for that season.
That's every season? That seems risky.
No. Just for the first season. So like to have a base to be able to start. Then from there you could have the challenge, the promotion, promotion battles and challenger battles and stuff.
Right. Yeah, that's a little that would be nice. I feel like we're in a spot where whoever Vainglory says is worthwhile, they get a spot. It's not based on merit. It's based on like who you are and can you support this. Like, all right, go ahead now, figure out your team. It's not based on like the team performance until the actual matches start, which is rough. But yeah, keep a lookout for all those announcements and more stuff. Kelsey, you sound like you're pretty busy with school and whatnot, so you're probably not watching a lot of esports or keeping up on all these players and things like that.
She has me for that.
Yeah, I try to.
Especially
on Twitter, since I'm supposed to be there anyway. So Twitter and Instagram, I try to keep up with all the additions and changes and everything.
Yeah,
but yeah, as far as watching goes, that gets a little complicated.
Mm-hmm. And if it went up to 12 teams, that's a lot of Vainglory to watch every weekend.
I'm down for it. I'm down.
Oh, man. I know you're down, and probably the Time for Rolling esports guys, they're down. They need more stuff, so they're super excited if that got bumped up. Well, outside of the esports scene, I saw this post on Reddit, and this kind of got me thinking that hopefully we're going to see some UI enhancements for Vainglory here as we're moving forward this year, because I've noticed this. 5v5 has a lot of buttons, and there is a lot of information that you need to keep track of on the screen. Somebody posted this link to what looks like them playing on an iPhone or a phone of some sort, basically showing that their finger or their thumb basically covers up like 3 of the activatable items on their device, which could be one reason why I'm so terrible at playing on a phone. And but
so what we call that, and what most people call that, is called fat thumbing.
Yeah.
When you just flat out, hit the screen with your entire thumb instead of the tips of your thumb. I've had that problem before. A lot of people on Team OutFox have that problem as well when they fat thumb. That's exactly why I bought an iPad, so I can just use my fingers to be able to play. Though I do tell you, if you're definitely using an iPhone or an Android, try placing your iPhone on the table. It's going to strain your neck a lot, or your back if you're sitting down. Mm-hmm. But try to play with your fingers. It's definitely more accurate. You see more on the screen. You won't accidentally hit your fountain or voice crack. Sorry.
Yeah, I've seen
your fountain.
I've seen some players do like a claw type thing where they hold the phone with their thumbs, so then they can use the tips of their finger to tap things. So
I attempted to claw and it didn't work. I can claw with a controller.
Yeah, okay.
That's about it, but I can't claw with a phone. I can't do that. No, thank you. I'm good.
But yeah, I know I'm playing on the iPad mini, and I have problems tapping on munions to auto attack. So I don't have that big of a problem tapping on the activatables, but like clicking on the munions on the map seems to be where I have difficulty, and I end up playing zoomed in more. Then I lose a lot of map awareness, but I can hit stuff.
The iPad mini is hard as far as like figuring out the dimensions, especially if you're used to a phone. Because I attempted to do that, and then I realized very quickly that it's completely different gameplay.
Going from
I prefer to play on an iPad.
Yeah. I think you just get used to the device you play on too, right? So then switching really messes you up.
Like switching between devices, I wouldn't ever recommend because I attempted to do that for a while and it got very dicey.
Yeah, I can see that. I think I put up something recently about how I probably need to upgrade my iPad mini at some point. I think Apple's killing off that whole thing. So I'm going to have to make that switch to like a real iPad at some point. So it'll be a whole new learning.
That means I have to too. No.
I mean, I'm already ahead of you both. I have an iPad.
Okay. But not an iPad Pro, right? I played, Chanchai
No.
had that when I was out in Portland, and playing on that is tough. You are working out your forearms quite a bit moving around that.
There's one person in the community that I've only seen play on an iPad Pro, and his name is Broken Eyes.
Okay.
And I seen him play on it when I met him for the first time. No, like I feel like I would get like ripped. My arms would get ripped playing that, moving my hand around or moving my entire arm around. No, thank you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go that big. But hopefully, like Kraken and his UI UX team over there is thinking about some of this stuff, especially with the larger map and more. As more items get added, there's going to be more things to have to worry about and click on for all the players, not just the captains. Cool.
Yeah, I'm so glad I got into Vainglory when it at this stage, because the more items they add, it's going to slowly start becoming League, where you have to learn every single item and know what everything does.
Right, because at this point, I say this a bit, like builds don't matter as much. Like you can get away with kind of building whatever, and as long as you are decent at the game or have map awareness, you can do fine. Like you building one item over another one isn't going to basically win or lose you the game. So, but when there's 50, 100 items, yeah, that's gonna make a big difference.
Yeah, it's going to turn from being who has the better build and who's more aggressive to who. I'm trying to figure out where I was going with this. Pretty much going from like where like who's more bursty to who can definitely play strategy.
Yeah, exactly. So it may get there. We don't know. Cool. Well, last topic before we get out of here was a question I got emailed or posted on one of the videos here, but
Mailbag.
the question was, which hero do you want to see a skin for, and who are you feeling like needs something at this point? Like who's
Churn.
lacking out there?
Churn.
Saying Churn?
I want to see a Mortal Kombat related Scorpion Churn skin.
Okay.
Where he legit every time he does his pull, he says, "Get over here." It might be a little bit copyright, and they might have to talk to the creators of Mortal Kombat, but I think it could be done.
That seems like it goes down the path of Churn, like continuing that dark realm for him. I wonder if they go the opposite and make like we have like Candy Kashka. I wonder if they do like a Candy Churn that throws out like licorice ropes and like more.
They kind of went down that path with Rhyme because he's Santa.
Yeah.
But then again, he's an old man anyway.
But yeah. What about you, Kelsey? Any skins you want to see added to the game, or a hero that needs a skin?
I would have said Reza, but of course they recently took care of that.
Yeah.
And Lorelei would be up there. I think it'd be cool to have something other than just her, original kind of mermaidy skin.
Right.
A Medusa skin.
Oh yeah. Nice. I think a hero that has a lot of skins, but they kind of all lack, but one of them is Ringo. Like that tier 3 legendary Ringo skin is great, and that's the one people play the most because it's the only one that changed any of the effects. So I think they need another legendary Ringo skin that gives you an option, because why are you playing the other skins on here when that's the only one that gives you a visual cue on your twirling silver and things like that? Like, I love the skins that like take advantage of those effects. So I'd love to see Ringo get something better.
Yeah.
Give up some essence for some of those Ringo skins.
Oh, you did? Nice. Oh, yeah, with all the blueprint and all that changes this time. I didn't even go through and check to see how much essence I have.
I think I'm just needing essence now.
Okay.
I'm at the point where I just need essence.
Yeah. I wish you could. I would gift out essence if I could, but
oh my god, can we not have ice tournaments? Can we just have essence based tournaments? But that would be great. Forget ice. I can just grind my way to have, you know, all the skins and all that. I just want essence. Just give me essence.
I wonder if that's an option, because I think there's less ability to have ice giveaways now because it involves money. I wonder if they could switch that to just essence, because it's a in-game currency that doesn't really have a value unless you're buying stuff in the game, right? It doesn't equate to money. I have to think about that. Well, this was awesome. That's going to be it for episode 196. Thanks, Suns and Kelsey, for joining me. This was great.
Yep.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you.
Where can people find you guys, get in touch, learn more about Team OutFox?
You can contact me on Twitter or on Instagram. Both are at SuNzNick. You can add me, or you can add me on Snapchat. I'm very inactive on that, but when I do, I'm normally posting like stuff about the guild or stuff about OutFox or just stuff about community, or you might see me rage from here or there on Snapchat, because, you know, I barely use it. For Team OutFox wise, you can follow us at Team OutFox GG on Twitter, Team OutFox on Instagram. You can join our Discord channel if you just message me on Twitter, or message Kel on Twitter, or just go to our Team OutFox page on Twitter. You can click on the link there in the bio and be able to join it. Yeah, that's it.
And then I'm at KelswanVG. And then again, Twitter and the Instagram I focus on. So Team OutFox, Instagram, and on the Twitter, Team OutFox GG.
Cool. Yeah, I'll make sure all those are in the show notes and the description, and everyone can check that out. Go follow and keep a lookout for that merch or the merch store at some point. That's super exciting.
Ooh, can't wait.
Shatter the Vain's on Twitter at Shatter the Vain. Website shatterthevain.com. All the episodes are posted there. Links to iTunes, Stitcher, the YouTube version as well. And yeah, we'll be back, or I'll be back next week talking probably 3.1 and all those changes and new hero and everything about that. So keep a lookout for that.
Please, rank, please.
Maybe we'll see. All right, take care.
Let's get this over with.